Hello and welcome back here to Prior's Flat this afternoon, and welcome at 4 o'clock here as we take up the action here in this match between Tynedale and Swalwell. Swalwell won the toss, batting first at 199 for 3 in the 43rd over. Now here's Renton, who comes into bowl now to Welch, and it was a slower ball and he tried to play it outside the off stump, but he missed it, and Crichton takes it on the bounce. So that's the end of the 43rd over there, and it sounds like we've got a war going on behind us here, because we've got two young lads about to go into a fight over the table tennis a game of table tennis behind us. But Swalwell 199 for 3 after 43. Chris Hewison has been there since the first wicket fell at 138, and he's 98 not out now. And as we watch, it's Sam Peter who's about to bowl, and he's got a chance to get his 100 here. And it's a full ball on the off stump, and Hewison just pushes it back to him, and he picks it up slightly on the offside of the pitch there and starts back towards his mark. So he's taken 2 wickets this afternoon, Sam Peter, right arm seam bowler. He took the last wicket to fall, which was Corby, when the score was at 178. But here's Peter again now to Hewison, who pushes it through and the straight towards the straight long on boundary here, and he's going for the 2, and it's thrown in, and there it is. There's the 100 for Chris Hewison. He takes his helmet off there and raises his bat up to his teammates on the dressing room balcony to the left here. So 100 for Chris Hewison, and the score now has gone to 201 for 3 Swalwell in the 44th over, and Hewison just replaces his hat there in the sun now. A little bit of sun just comes out, but it hasn't been all straightforward. He's been dropped twice on the way there. So here's Peter again, up he goes and bowls, and that one's flicked away to the leg side this time, and it goes on the double bounce there to Colin McCabe. It was a good length ball just outside the off stump, and Hewison stepped outside it and just closed the face, and the ball went quite quickly there to McCabe, but he saved it and there was no run. It remains 201 for 3 in the 44th over here. Now in goes Sam Peter again, up he goes and bowls, and Hewison drives this one back towards the stumps at the bowler's end, at our end here, and it's a good bit of fielding there from Sam Peter. He just sticks a right hand down to stop that one, and he picks the ball up and gets back to the end of his mark. Well, he's on his way there now. He's about to move in again. Here he goes. He turns at the end of his run. Now he's on his way in over the wicket to Chris Hewison. Hewison comes forward a bit there, and it's bowled down the leg side, and he tries to swing a bat at it there, and he did, but he took one hand off. I think Sam Peter saw him coming towards him there before he let go of the ball, and he just ruffles his shirt up a bit, just pulls the shoulder of his shirt straight there as he walks back towards the end of his mark. Now he turns again. And he goes, his shirt tail flaps in the wind as he runs in away from us here to Hewison, who tries to drive a full ball from about a middle and off to the leg side, but he doesn't time it right. It comes off the inside half of the bat there, and it's McCabe who picks it up off the floor, and that's the end of the 44th over here, maximum of 50. It's Swalwell 201 for 3. Hewison has 100, and Welch, the new batsman, the relatively new batsman, is 7 not out at the moment, and he came to the wicket when Corby was out after a 3rd wicket stand of 95 between him and Hewison. Hewison was involved in a 70 stand as well with Meadows for the 2nd wicket. Meadows was run out, and before that Lloyd Anderson was caught behind quite early in the match, about 10 or 12 minutes after the start of play. But it's Renton who bowls, and that's pulled away from outside the leg stump by Welch this time. They've run 1 down the long leg there. It's thrown in now, and they come back for 2, and the score moves along to 203 for 3 now, and Welch moves himself along to 9. So Renton up at the top end, at the gasworks end. He's running towards us with no slips. There's a 3rd man down here. There's a backward point, a deep cover, an extra cover, mid off, mid on, a mid-wicket and a deep square leg, as Renton's in now and bowls, and it's driven up there to Kant, it is, who's fielding it deep mid-on. So just to the left of the bowler stumps at that top end, and umpire Gardner up there. So Welch gets himself another one. He goes to 10. The score goes to 204 for 3 now. And now the field moves back for Hewison. There's a deep square leg, a deep mid-wicket, a long off, a long on, and a deep cover, and a circle of 3 on the offside inside the 30-yard circle. As Renton's in again now, and a really cross-batted swipe there from Hewison, and he misses it, and it strikes him on the leg, and the ball drops down, and he picks up the ball and throws it back to Renton, who wearily walks back towards the end of his mark. He seems to have recovered from being hit somewhere sore when he was in there in the backward point position a couple of overs ago, but here he is again now, into bowl to Hewison, who tries to reach that one outside the off, and Bob Gardner, white ball signalled there by umpire Gardner, which adds 1 to the total. It goes to 205 for 3. Hewison on strike, the right-hander. 100 he's got, exactly. And here he is now. Here's Renton now, about to bowl to Hewison. Hewison strikes high and long, and it's back it goes, and it's away over towards the practice nets. It's gone over the big safety net, and yes, 6 runs there. 6 runs to Hewison, and he moves to 106. The score goes to 211 for 3 now, Swalwell. He took that one from on-off stump or just outside with a big swing of the bat. And here's Renton again now, moves in. There's the same again. It's 1 and 2. It's over the top, and it's a little bit straighter, this one, but it's a little bit nearer the scoreboard over there, but it's over the practice nets again, over towards the green groundsman's hut. So another 6 to Hewison. He moves to 112, 217 now for 3. And if it has to be said, the 2 dropped catches have paid costly here. They've paid costly for those 2 misses of Hewison. Have Tynedale. Now here's Renton again, moves in to bowl. And that's a straight swat of a shot up towards Kant there at long on. It was a cross-batted bludgeon there from Hewison, and it shot past about 2 feet wide to the left of the non-striker stumps there, and Hewison gets a single off the last ball of the over, which moves him to 113, with a score now at 218 for 3 Swalwell after 45 overs. And Welch, the other batsman, 10 not out. And it's going to be Sam Peter about to take up the attack with 2 wickets to his name of the 3. Just the 3 that have fallen this afternoon. The other one was the run out of Meadows. So here's the county debutant who's going to play for the county tomorrow. Bowls again, this time to Hewison, who drags the one off his leg stump, a full ball. Now they're going for 2. Here's the shot from Stevenson up to the wicketkeeper's end, but it's a high ball into Crichton, and he takes it above his head, and Hewison gets himself through for 2. So he moves to 115, 220 for 3. And we've got ping pong balls flying left, right and centre behind us here. But here's Sam Peter again now. On the way again, he bowls, and that's down the leg side this time, and Hewison doesn't make contact, and the ball goes through to Crichton, and there's no run. The other games in Division 1 today, we've got what we on the 21st of July, Allenmouth versus Wrighton, Ashington versus Newcastle City, as Peter's in again now. Full, and it's taken a little edge, has it? And it's gone past, and yes, it's for umpire Wilburn. Signals up, and that's not the first inside edge. And the luck, a little bit of luck that Hewison's had today, and it just beat the left hand of Crichton up there at the top end and raced up to the fine leg boundary for 4. So 224 for 3 now. And Ashington Newcastle City, Concert versus Linz, Percy Main versus Stocksfield, and Shotley Bridge versus Lanchester in Division 1 of the Northumberland and Tyneside Cricket League today. Peter to Hewitson, and he digs one in, and it's slow, and he's pulled it for 4, and it just sat up there and waited to be struck, and Hewison got onto it and pulled it behind square up to the house end of the 5th ball of the over there, the 5th ball of the 46th. And that takes the score to 228, that boundary, and Hewison's gone to 123. So 4 overs to go after this one. Peter charging in again. Up he goes and balls, and it's driven, and he's caught it. Oh no, it's gone down. A right-handed diving catch, a caught and bowled chance there from Peter. And it was a brilliant effort. It was driven, and it hadn't travelled 18 yards back at quite a pace there, and Peter dived to his right. It got into the hand and just slipped onto the floor, and Peter picks it up and walks back, and here's Peter again now. Up he goes to bowl. It's full on the stumps, and it's driven up here to long on. It's picked up now by Parker, and he throws in, and Hewison gets himself a single at the end of the over, and now it's 229 for 3 Swalwell after 46 overs here. Hewison 124 and Welch 10. And here's a word from one of our sponsors.
You are listening to live cricket here on Spreaker Internet Radio, kindly sponsored by the Royal Oak Hotel.
So we're back here at Priors Flat. Swalwell 229 for 3. And we're going to have Callan McCabe again. 229 for 3. And I do hope I was on the air with you there. I don't know if I've been broadcasting for the last 12 or so minutes we've been on, but I hope I was. I've just looked down at the dial there, and it's working again now, so hopefully I'm getting through to you here. Matthew Erskine with you on Cricket West Tyne. Now here's Callum McCabe about to bowl again, and he's going to bowl to Hewison, the 47th over here. From the other end, he's changed ends now and bowls, and it's hiked high, and one bounce for 4 over to the tennis court side there. So another boundary to Hewison. He moves to 128. The score goes to 233 here for 3 Swalwell. And they're about to pass last year's score they got here, Swalwell. 237. That was in a losing match. As another big shot high up towards the boundary, and that's beaten the fielder. And diving to his left up there, a deep mid-wicket away to our left. And he flung himself, I think it may have been, was it Parker up there at the top? Or was it Sam Peter who flung himself towards that one? But anyway, it was another boundary there, so it's gone to 237. And it's Chris Hewison on 132 on strike here. And McCabe is about to get the ball back here. He's just going to have a little chat with his captain Tom Cant up there at deep mid-on. He's going to drop himself back to the boundary where he was fielding before at long on. So we've got a third man down here. We've got a backward point. We've got a deep cover. As in comes McCabe again and bowls full, and this one's driven up to Cant there, who picks it up now at long on and throws in. Keeps that one to 1, and the score goes to 238 for 3. Hewison moves to 133. Welch on strike. 4 outside the circle for Tynedale here. McCabe up and bowls, and a big swing and a miss there from Welch outside the off stump, and it was a good length and wide, and he brought the bat across it and missed it. and through to Crichton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. $185 runs for Welsh for the season now. And there's an edge, and it's flown high over the vacant slip cordon and up to Newton here at third man, and they're racing back for 2, and Welsh adds another 2, and Crichton takes the ball above his head, but he doesn't take it cleanly there behind the stumps, but there's no danger of an extra run as Welsh just makes his way back to the crease. His shirt tail hanging out, his bright orange straps on the back of his pads there, his shirt sleeves on. Right-hander just sets himself at the crease now as McCabe moves into bowl. Big swing and a drive, and he's out. Drove it straight into the hands of Rainford there, who caught it just about below his throat height there, just at the top of his ribs. And there's the 4th wicket to fall for Swalwell. 240 for 4 now, the visitors here this afternoon. And McCabe gets his first wicket of the afternoon. And it's Welsh for 12. And with the score at 240 when the 4th wicket fell there for Swalwell. And that was the end of the over as well. So an update here, if you're listening here on Spreaker Internet Radio on the Cricket West Tyne programme, as Welsh just gets an appreciative round of applause out there for his 12. Stephen Smith, the new man in for Swalwell. And it's 240 for 3 after 47 overs now. Swalwell. And Hewison 133 not out, and the new man Smith he's taken up, he's at the non-strikers end now, and we've got a change of bowling, and it's Kant, the right arm slow bowler. He's about to bowl again for these last couple of, well, maybe have 2 of the last 3, but here's Hewison on strike to the captain Kant, who moves in away from us here and bowls outside the off stump, and it's chopped square up to Scott there, I think it is, at Sam Peter, I beg your pardon, there at backward point. And there's no single there. Single for Hewison. He moves through to 134, and the score goes to 241 for 4 in the 48th over here. Smith, the right-hander, on strike. No slips. Crichton close up behind the stumps. A big swing there, and the ball's going to run out for 1 run to the leg side. It by no means did Smith get the full bat on it there. It ran out to about the 3rd or 4th pitch away from the one we're using, and Kant ran round to his right there to pick up, and there was a single. So Smith off the mark. The score at 242 for 4. Kant moves in again to Hewison, who's down the pitch a little bit, but Kant fired one in there, and he tried to scoop it away to the leg side, but it struck his front leg there and ricocheted off to the offside, where Crichton goes and retrieves it and throws the ball back to Kant. Kant to bowl again now to Hewison. Faster one, and it's hit over the leg side this time. It's fielded brilliantly on the run there, mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket by Callum McCabe, over to the Kingsgate Terrace side there and thrown in, and Hewison adds another one. He's gone to 135. The score goes to 243 for 4. Now here's Smith again, faces Kant. A little slower loopy one, and that's nicely cut away for 4 up to the deep backward point boundary across at the top end of the tennis courts there, and the ball just goes between the last advertisement board and the scoreboard there for 4. And he watched that one, played it extremely late there, did Smith, watched it all the way, and a handy cut it was too as he moves to 5, and the score goes to 247 as the sun appears in its full embrace for the first time this afternoon here at Priors Flat. Now Kant moves in again, and a play and a miss outside the off stump this time from Smith. It was a fuller ball given some flight, and Smith hit the ground with his bat, and a plume of dust came up as he went for that one, but he missed it, and that was the last ball of the over. And the score now 247 for 4 Swalwell. Hewison has 135 and Smith has 5. And the last wicket to fall to McCabe was Welch, who drove it straight to, in the air, straight to Rainford there in the extra cover, as it's going to be McCabe to take up the attack and bowl the penultimate over here. Still 1 or 2 grey clouds away in the east there, but the weather moving across from the northwest, from our left, coming across the top of the changing rooms and away towards the town centre there. As McCabe's in again, driven hard, and it was at about chest height there by Hewison, but it whizzed past to the leg side, just to the leg side of umpire Gardner there, and up to the straight boundary for 4. So he moves to 139, does Hewison, and it's 251 now for Swalwell. The 250 up, as we move just up to 20 past 4 here on this Saturday afternoon. So Cant moving the field round here. Renton's going into mid-wicket position there. So we've got a deep square, a deep mid-wicket, a long off, a long on, a deep cover, a deep extra cover on the edge of the 30-yard circle, and both fine leg and third man inside as well. McCabe bowls full, it's driven high up towards long on. It's Cant who runs a little way to his right, up there at the top end to field that one, and Hewison gets another single. It goes to 252 for 4. Hewison moves to 140. Smith on strike. McCabe to bowl. His long, at the end of his long one up there. He moves towards us now. Past umpire Gardner. Swing and a miss. Oh no, it's edged it. And has it gone for 4? Yes, an edge. And it was, he went hard at it there, Smith. And I thought it was going through to Crichton, but it missed him. Crichton reached up to his right, but went to about shoulder height, past him and up to this near boundary and slightly to our left here. So 256 now. Smith has gone to 9. And McCabe has the ball again at the top end. Here he comes now. Bowling to Stephen Smith. And Smith chips this one for another 4. Out behind point this one time. He watched it laid outside the off stump and just laid the bat onto it, and it went in the air but safe enough, and runs over towards the picnic table. So another boundary here for Swalwell. Out comes Renton again from that mid-wicket position back into backward point. Smith has gone to 13 and 260 now the score, and this partnership is very quickly rattled up to 20 here. McCabe to Smith. So he's bowled him, he's out, and it was a fuller ball, and Smith tried to back away to leg to give himself some room, and it was a fuller ball, went underneath the bat and hit middling off stump, and the bails go flying, and Smith is out for 13. So Colin McCabe gets his second wicket of the day, and it's 260 for 5 at Swalwell, with just 1 over to go after this one. Stephen Smith out for 13, bowled by McCabe. Be back in just a tick as we hear from another one of our sponsors here on Cricket West Tyne.
Hello and welcome to the Cricket West Tyne programme on Spreaker Online Radio, brought to you by experts in business, on number 1 in business consultancy. For all your business needs, visit www.expertsinbusiness.co.uk or find them on social media.
He's bowled him, and Ross Sinclair, the new batsman, and it's McCabe who's on air. He's not going to get the chance. It'll be carried over to the next game, I think. Yes, it will. He's taken 2 wickets there, McCabe, and just as he came back, Sinclair was bowled. Ross Sinclair was bowled first ball, and McCabe, he'll carry a hat-trick over into the next match, as well. That was the last ball of the 49th over there, and we've just got the 1 left now. 260 for 4, with Hewison still there. 140 not out for Swalwell. And it's going to be Tom Cant, the captain, to bowl the last over here. Tom Cant to bowl the last one. 260 for 4. 2-6 north for 4. Swalwell. Hewison on strike. 140 not out. Crichton forgot it was Cant bowling there and gets himself up behind the stumps. So the field well spread out here as far as Cant can get them. In he goes and bowls, fires one in, and Hewison's whipped this one up the deep square leg. And it's collected by Stevenson, who throws in to Cant the bowler, and there's another one added to the total there. 261 for 4 now. Cant again moves in now and bowls a little loopy one, and that's played for 1 up to short third man there. And there's another single, so 262 for 6 now. Swalwell in the last over, third last ball here. The fourth last ball, I beg your pardon. And this is driven by Hewison up towards the wide long off boundary, and they come back for 2 as the ball whistles in there to Cant the bowler, and he collects it, and the score moves along now. We've got 263 up on the board, 263 for 6 Swalwell. In goes Cant again. Drive and high, and he's going to hit a 4. It's beat McCabe up to the wide long on boundary here, right in front of the clubhouse where we're broadcasting from. And 4 more to the total, 267 for 6 now Swalwell. And Hewison 4 more till he for 150 here. He's 146 not out at the moment. And here's Cant again now. The gap up towards us here. Will he try up towards this long on boundary again? Loops it. Up does Cant, and it's full, and it's just pushed out there for 1 to renting it extra cover. And Hewison moves to 147, and the score goes to 268 for 6. Concert 185 all out in their match. Shotley Bridge 122 all out. And there's Cant again. Bulls this one up, and it's pushed back to him. It was a full toss, that one, and that's the end of the innings, and that's it for the Swalwell innings. 268 for 6 they finish on after 50 overs, and Hewison makes his way off 147 not out. He just takes his hat off there, and the Tynedale players all follow in his trail there, and the 2 umpires as well, as the players come off for tea. And Hewison and Nicky Phillips, the other batsman, he finishes 1 not out after that little single there. But the applause here for Chris Hewison, who gets 147 and he finishes unbeaten, although it might have been a very different story because he was dropped twice, once in the 15th over, and that was dropped by Ewan Stevenson there when the score was at 56 for 1, and Hewison was just 15 at that time in the 13th over, I beg your pardon, and then again he was dropped on 67 when Rainford put him down at long on in the 35th over when it was 151 for 2. The other only close time they came to getting a wicket was a couple of inside edges for Swalwell, and Corby, he was nearly run out when Scott diverted the ball from a straight drive onto the stumps at the non-striker's end in the 36th. But it really has been a day for the batsmen, but I don't think those drop catches will be forgotten too easily at the moment. But it's a chance for Tynedale to redeem themselves. They chased 237 to win last season in the second last game of last season here against Swalwell at Priors Flat. But 2 wickets for Callum McCabe and 2 wickets for Sam Peter. Callum McCabe's actually on a hat-trick when he gets his next over in a league match, as well. So 18 wickets now for McCabe for the season, and 18 wickets as well for Sam Peter too as well. So and a run out, Meadows was run out, but it was a partnership of 70 for the second wicket between Meadows and Hewison, and then 95 runs partnership for Hewison and Corby for the third wicket, which set Swalwell on their way here, and then a quick fire few runs at the end there from Smith and Nicky Phillips, and who put a single on at the end there, but Stephen Smith actually had one or two nice boundaries in that total there. But we've just had an update to the score there. It's now 269 for 6 Swalwell finish on. So Tynedale will chase 270 to win when they come back and take up the chase after tea here. But what time are we on now? We're coming up to 20 just before, well, it is 4:30 now. So our next due broadcast is at 5 o'clock. So we'll be back then with a quick update and perhaps a little bit of commentary as Tynedale take up the chase as they go for 270 to win here at Priors Flat this afternoon. And then it's on the hour after that, extended periods of commentary for however long the play goes on for today. But I'll leave you until 5 o'clock with our update, with Swalwell finishing their innings 269 for 6 off 50. So I'll speak to you again at 5 o'clock.